And then when something funny happens, I back up 3 frames and I cut it off. So I edit. He dictates the humor. He has to make me laugh first, and then I write it down.
What did the creative process look like for you on a daily basis, trying to create new gags and put out a new strip every day?
Well, I don't write every day because I'm not funny every day.
Right.
Some days focused on something else, doing
Sure.
something else, and then funny days strike. And I put everything aside and I write on those days, and I can do, several days worth of writing on those days. And it's like a working meditation for me, because what I do, I sit back and I imagine Garfield until I can conjure him up in my head, like watching a TV set in my mind. And I don't tell him what to do. I can put him in a situation. I can have him look out a window, go to the beach, put him up a tree, something like that, and then I watch. And I ask myself, what would he do? Where would he go? What would he say? What would the other characters do and say? And then when something funny happens, I back up 3 frames and I cut it off. So I edit. He dictates the humor. He has to make me laugh first, and then I write it down. So it sounds kind of odd that I just sit back and basically daydream and watch him until he does a gag.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I can recognize the gag, and then I write it down after he does it in my head.
That's amazing.
That's basically how I write.
Just for the listeners out there and the layperson, a gag is the joke, and but it's a industry term utilized for the punchline and what that little micro scene is. Yep. And don't underestimate the difficulty of trying to develop a story and an idea and an issue and a protagonist, and then an end punch in 3 frames and in less than 25 words. As rules, there are so many different rules. There's rules in television, rules in movies, rules in this little dog and pony show here that we're doing. But there's rules that you kind of created for yourself for Garfield, and you tried to stay within those boundaries. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do as few lines, I do as few words as possible, because the trick is to arrive at the punchline at the precise time that the reader does. Now, they're reading it in their head, so they're going faster than you could ever talk or tell a joke. And so if you can arrive at the punchline just a nanosecond before they figure it out, that evokes that involuntary laugh response, or at least that's my philosophy of it. So I don't try to make it do so much art, and do silhouettes and so many words that they've already figured out the gag before they got to the gag. That's disappointing. Or I don't try to make it so convoluted that they haven't figured the gag out for a while and we lose the timing in the last frame. So the trick is the simplicity, flow through it. They don't want to spend a long time with a comic strip anyway. There are other comic strips. You want to get on with the day. So I keep it simple, funny, a little bit out of left field, a little bit off balance, something relatable. More often than not, when people laugh, the gag is because they're saying, "Isn't that true?"
Right.
That's more important than being funny, actually.
Yeah.
So that way you touch the reader, they relate to it, and after 50 years, there's a certain amount of affection that's developed for it. So that's the trick.